Sai Akuto, our primary protagonist, is an orphan left outside a church when he was very young. He has spent the majority of his life by himself, and he has always had a goal and a vision for the future. The dream is one step closer to becoming a reality. Akuto is currently applying to the Constant Magic Academy to enroll there as a student. He meets Junka Hattori while she is riding on the train to the academy. The two communicate with one another and agree to give each other a promise. They agree to a solemn pact that they will use their magic to make the world a better place, and that this agreement must under no circumstances be violated. When Akuto first arrives at the academy, he is eager to start his journey, the primary objective of which is to one day develop into an exceptional healer. After that, he meets with one of the senior faculty members of the academy, who reveals to him that he is destined to rule over a demonic underworld as a wicked demon king. After that, every single student at the academy began to steer clear of Akuto because they were terrified of him. Akuto is harassed by students during his very first lecture because they believe he has no business being in the room while all of this is going on. A young boy named Hiroshi Miwa, who is on the shorter side, starts to admire him. Everyone in the school, even Hiroshi, is terrified of him even more than before. Akuto makes a mistake when he decides to volunteer for a position in the school's cleaning duty. He does so without realizing that this is a way to become an assassin and aid in the concealment of the school's secrets. The students are troubled by this and believe that he is already on the path to becoming evil. Junka, one of the students, decides that it is time to fight Akuto. However, this does not go as she had planned. Akuto loses control of his abilities and triggers a massive magical explosion, which results in the destruction of the classroom. Later, Akuto attempts to make amends with Junko by apologizing and perhaps repaying her by taking her out to lunch. However, Junko loses her mind and decides to kill Akuto as she pursues him through the forest. They meet a young woman named Kina Soga. Even though they have never met before, she decides to protect him. At this precise moment, Akuto once again loses control of his abilities and causes an explosion of magical energy. Following that, a shadowy figure known as Krone introduces themselves to Akuto. It is revealed that the academy's principal instructed Krone to be Akuto's bodyguard and keep him safe. He also tracks his behavior to see if he is becoming the evil demon king. Krone takes Akuto to know the academy's principal, and it is revealed that the principal instructed Krone to do so. The day after that, Akuto also meets Fujiko Eito, who assures him that he will assail him even if he is destined to turn evil in the future. Later, she instructs Akuto to meet her in a remote area of the mountain to have a private conversation away from the other people. When he and Krone travel to the hill, they are ambushed by a pack of demon dogs with mutated appearances. Akuto draws on his abilities and consumes the mana emanating from the demon dog. The evil dog transforms into a lovable puppy as a result of this. The puppy can pick up on Kinosoga's scent and locates her, even though she has been concealing her presence with an invisibility spell. Akuto successfully deactivates Krone, following Fujiko's instructions, and proceeds to where everyone is meeting. Fujiko invites him to become a member of the school's special committee so that he can clear his name. She also bestows upon him a one-of-a-kind magical gun that, when fired at a person, causes the target and the shooter to bond and experience a genuine feeling of each other. This is a strategy for dealing with Junko if she attacks him. As Akuto makes his way back to the school grounds, he is attacked again by Kina, who takes him down to the ground after tackling him. At that precise instant, Krone undergoes a second activation and discovers Kina. Amid Korone's investigation into what took place, Akuto reverts to his evil ways and attacks Kina. Akuta and Kina conclude that they should become friends, and then they lie to Krone and say that nothing has happened. In another part of the story, we learn that Fujiko is communicating with Junko and spreading the false rumor that Akuto assaulted her. Fujiko enters a hidden dungeon in her bedroom, where she has a conversation with her brother's severed head about their plans for Akuto. Hiroshi and Akuto go to the bathhouse in the late night hours to relax. While there, Hiroshi Hiroshi reveals to him that there is an underground school scene. This is where Junko gained such popularity that he would participate in and organize underground fights. Fujiko organizes a get-together for Junko and Akuto to attend. The day after that, Akuto schedules a meeting with every member of the student council for them to vote on whether or not they will accept his application to be a committee representative. Akuto makes an effort to deactivate Kurone so that he can meet Junko without interference. When that doesn't work, he tries pulling her tail, but Kina comes along and uses the arrival of Akuto as an opportunity to distract him by dropping her rice cooker on her. At long last, Akuto can meet up with Junko. However, it soon becomes clear that the entire encounter was merely a ruse to lure a group of underground fighters into an ambush. Akuto is successful in defeating each and every one of them, and Junko then begins to make preparations for an assault. Several other students hear Junko criticizing him in front of them. She uses his attacks as evidence to prove to everyone that he is becoming evil by presenting them in this manner. Akuto is pursued by the other students throughout the school, but he can elude them for a sufficient amount of time for Kina to intervene and save him. When it is brought to Junko's attention, she concedes that it is possible that she was wrong. He expresses his regret for inciting the entire student body to assault Akuto. The students who were with Junko at the time immediately begin attacking her for taking Akuto's side. In the nick of time, Kurone arrives and diffuses the tension by dousing everyone in a medicinal rice storm. She does everything she can to bring Akuto and Junko together as friends. Akuto and Junko agree that they will try to behave civilly towards one another. However, not even one day passes before he knocks Junko unconscious in the middle of class. After that, Mitsuko suggests to Akuto that he enter a unique chamber where he will be trained in the discipline. Everyone at the school is terrified of entering this room because there is a rumor that several people have passed away while they were inside of it. Because of everything that has happened at the academy, Akuto feels increasingly downcast and miserable. He only wishes to be left in peace, but for some reason, he always seems dragged along on an adventure with Kurone and Kina. The three stumble upon a peculiar and puzzling map, and Kina speculates that it might direct them to enormous treasures if they follow its clues. Fujiko understands what is on the map without delay, but she does not reveal this information to the other group members. After making them herself, Kina distributes several hundred copies of the map to various people throughout the school. Many students at the academy are captivated by the map and set off in search of the treasure. However, an increasing number of these students are hurt while they are away. As a disciplinary committee member, Akuto is attempting to persuade the students to call off the treasure hunt so that no one else can be harmed. Suddenly, a girl by the name of Aiko appears, and she demands that Akuto find the treasure on his own. The four individuals, Kurone, Hiroshi, Aiko, and Akuto, make their way to the underground labyrinth that is situated underneath the academy. Once there, they are successful in locating the precise location that is indicated on the map. Suddenly, a shadowy figure wearing a cloak materializes and launches an assault on the party, aided by a colony of bats. The group is successful in their battle against the bats disguised as the figure. The group then follows the instructions on a recording device that Akuto unearths from beneath a tombstone and follows them on an abandoned research facility. When they arrive at the facility, they are curious as to what it actually is, but their investigation is cut short when an armed and armored statue attacks them. They successfully break it, and inside the statue, Aiko discovers a unique screen that provides specific directions to the shrine located behind a cave. In addition, the cavern was found in a hot spring by the team. During their exploration, Kina, Fujiko, and Junko all make their way into the labyrinth. It was an accident that caused Junko to fall into the hot spring, but she immediately accuses Aiko of working for the government. Kina and Fuji appear out of nowhere and come to the group's rescue after they are attacked by a massive wolf that appeared out of nowhere. During the fight, Akuto desperately moves to protect Junko, which causes Aiko to cry because she believes he has betrayed her. She breaks Akuto's heart by giving him the key to the shrine and then walks away. Fujiko grabs the key and activates the shrine, which results in the group being teleported to the location of the student council's headquarters. It turns out that the student council members attacked the students who were searching for the treasure while they pretended to be be protecting them. Additionally, it would appear that the headquarters of the Student Council are, in fact, the base of operations for the Demon King. When Fujiko uses some of her older brother's belongings, she accidentally reawakens an ancient dragon monster called Peterhausen. Fujiko becomes so overcome with grief that she passes out after the dragon reveals the chain of tragic events that led to her brother's death. Akuto then arrives and launches an assault on Peterhausen. Utilizing an enormous power, Akuto successfully seizes control of Peterhausen and becomes its new master. After everything has been straightened out, the Student Council president kisses Akuto on the cheek as a reward for finding the treasure, which turns out to be a dragon. Akuto is now under constant government surveillance, contributing to his feelings of melancholy and isolation. Additionally, he is not permitted to attend school on the unique island. After observing his sadness, Krone gets an idea of how to cheer him up. He tells Akuto that he can attend the beach school, but cautions him to be responsible for his actions and not get into trouble. After that, Krone decides to pursue a romantic relationship with Akuto, but he successfully evades her advances. Akuto eventually makes it to the beach, where he intends to explore and relax. However, Kina and Krone's antics continually get in the way of him enjoying his time there. Hiroshi makes an appearance and informs Akuto that the legend of the Demon King is based on a particular story that originated on this island. According to the legend, a chosen hero will appear when the dragon and the Demon King unite their forces. Even though it is said that this legendary hero will save everyone by vanquishing the Demon King, Akuto does not believe the legend. Lily Shiraishi, a woman who works for the government, confronts Fujiko. This development takes Fujiko back. She explains that the government has very specific plans for Akuto, which have been discussed at length. A flashback reveals that at some point in the past, Hiroshi discovered that he was destined to grow up to be a great hero who would save humanity from impending doom. In the present, we see that Krone is disheartened because she is unable to seduce and control Akuto. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my anime recap production, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.